Hey, you're hanging out in the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason.
And I'm Donna Ruppel. Around here, we believe success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you link up with. This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Donna, it blows my mind that the two of us have over 30 years of combined networking experience.
I know! We've built businesses, expanded networks, and created unstoppable momentum, all through the power of strategic connections.
AKA networking. And now we're here to guide you to do the same, starting today.
So let's dive in, connect, and start making moves you didn't even know were possible. Welcome back to the Link Up Lounge. I'm Donna Ruppel, your Nagati real estate expert, and I'm here with my co-host Tiffany Mason of Virtually You, the boutique podcast management agency.
This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities. And today's link is all about how to start those email conversations with the right kind of lead magnet.
Yeah, so we kind of put the cart before the horse. We told you all about how to use a lead magnet. And now we are going to give you what a lead magnet really is, okay? So a lead magnet is more than just a freebie. It is a first impression. And we all know how important a first impression is, right? It sets the tone for the relationship you are about to build.
Mm-hmm. When it's done well, it turns casual browsers into real connections who actually want to hear from you.
Today, we're breaking down what makes a lead magnet work and how to create one that naturally leads to connection and conversation. I can give you multiple examples of really great lead magnets that have made me click, got me down the rabbit hole, subscribed to their webinars. I mean, I've gotten in the flow, okay? And for me, I love me a good freebie, okay?
Me too.
I am all over a freebie because I want to know, is this something I already know? Like if you're talking industry specific, right? Is this something I already know? I don't want to pay to find out it's something I already know because I've done that in the past, right? Especially in those COVID years when everything was online and that was like how you got everything, right?
Everything.
And so I love me a good freebie because it gives me a insight into your content. And so there was one, for example, that was a freebie on how to generate leads as a real estate agent, like that. I don't know. There's, some value add to it, like how to generate, great, amazing leads that convert,
right.
Blah, 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 whatever. Okay. For free. Okay. So of course the free guide, but also how to get these leads for free. So that is like an attention grabber for me, right? Because I'm all about free.
Of course.
So,
well, I need to stop you really quick. And I need to say that any human is thinking what's in it for me. And so at that moment, you were thinking what's in it for me. So keep that in mind when you're kind of listening to us and thinking about what maybe be valuable for you to have as a lead magnet. What's in it for the person? So what was in it for you, Donna?
Yeah, it was gonna give me ideas. I was hoping multiple ideas on how to get leads that can convert without having to buy them. Because obviously in the real estate industry, you can buy leads and pay thousands of dollars for leads. But I wanted free leads. Okay. And this guide was going to tell me how I was going to, I don't know, I want to say 5 different ways to get free leads. Okay. So
Great.
I was all about it, right? So I click on it. I'm all about it. And, I was excited that it was free because, 1, 2, and 3, I did already know about, but 4 and 5 created a new thought. It gave me a new thought, a new avenue, a new way. And so then, of course, now I'm on this person's email list, which I valued because she provided value. So then I ended up clicking on something else, which led me to, the 4th idea that I really wanted to learn more about. I got into, an hour-long live about it. I learned so much more.
Gosh.
She had some more free resources. And then of course it eventually led you to, paying, for something, but I got so much value out of that. I'm still on her email list. I still read her emails because they gave me value for free before I ever had to pay for anything. So yeah, I am a huge fan of a free guide, a good free guide.
Well, and I would say also in that vein of like a good free guide or a course or whatever, there's nothing wrong with giving it all away. There's nothing worse than saying like these 5 tips and then all they do is beat around the bush. Give me the 5 tips. Give me the 5 tips. Because what will end up happening is if I tell you how to fully produce a podcast episode, the likelihood is you're going to go, that's a lot of work. Let me go ahead and just hire you. So I don't mind
Right.
personally telling people
Yeah.
how I do everything. I'm an open book. I will tell you, I will put together a lead magnet on how to produce your podcast because the reality is you're going to go, that's so much work. I'd rather hire it out. Right.
Yeah.
Or like you could say, these are the 10 things you need to look for in a real estate agent. And then you go, oh, a real estate agent really is valuable to have in my corner. I didn't think about these things that a realtor could provide for me that I never thought of. I just thought it was
Right.
simply showing up, selling a house, and moving on their merry way. Lead magnets kind of make me think of what my old tagline was, and it was creating your web on the web. And that's kind of what a lead magnet will do for you. It gets them into your email automation, but then just like you said, it ends up leading them down rabbit trail on your website. So they can be very effective to have a lead magnet. And that's why we wanted to bring this episode to you guys.
Yeah, it's a great way for people to sort of window shop your business without having to come
Yes.
in. That's what I think of it as. Like, it's a great way to just kind of let them peruse and see if, they want to open the door and come on in to see what you offer.
Right. And it's like we said last time, the value sell. Like their first introduction to us is here's some value.
Yes, it's huge because I love to window shop. I love to window shop all over the internet for free guides. If you have a free guide, I'm probably clicking on it. Okay. So today we're breaking down what makes a lead magnet work and how to create one that naturally leads to connection and conversation.
Yes, a good lead magnet is clear, quick to consume, and solves one problem your audience actually has. So, like the power statement that we have out for you guys, if you download that, the struggle you could be having is clearly, concisely conveying, that was a lot of C's, how to talk about your business and let other people know what your business is. So it helps you to quickly look at it and see what you need to do. It solves the problem where you're helping people to understand what your business is for your audience that you actually have. A good lead magnet is clear, quick to consume, solves one problem your audience actually has.
Yes. And everything we provide in the Link Up Lounge is excellent, right? So any lead guide we have, click on that. Okay.
Top-notch quality.
Top notch. Okay. It's going to solve all your problems. Okay. It should lead directly into your offer or service, not just collect emails for the sake of it and then never actually email those people, right? Why are you collecting the emails if you're not going to do something with them? Which, goes back to that email automation episode that we did just previously. So if you haven't heard that one, go back to that. It talks about the reason why email automation or marketing, it can really help your business stay connected to potential customers through the window shopping of your free guide or your lead magnet.
Okay, so you hear us talking about a lead magnet, but let us give you a couple of examples that would work really well for having people take advantage of your lead magnet. So the first thing is a checklist that aligns with your services. So that's exactly what I have. I have the 10 things a person would want to consider before starting their podcast. When they click on that, they get it through my website. So I talked about your web on the web, and that would be one way that I would potentially be capturing them, and they would be able to check out other things on my website or even click on the About You section. So the next thing that you could offer would be like a 3-step quick guide. I think that was kind of what our collaboration checklist is like. You can go through, I guess it's a checklist, but it's also kind of a guide. So it was giving you things to think about, how you would want to approach the person, what you would want to discuss with the person, and then, exploring future opportunities with that person.
Yeah, I was told at one point when making these lead magnets to think about a 3-step guide or a 5-step guide. You could do like a 10 thing like you did, but make sure those are short because again, you want it to be quickly consumable, right? And so it doesn't need to be a novel. So 3-step, 5-step, I think our collaboration checklist is 5. So 3, 5, those are great ideas for lead magnets.
Well, and when they are a few steps, it's a quick win. And then they go, oh, that was easy. This person had value. I want to learn, see what else they have to offer. One of my favorite things that I've ever gotten was this holiday blitz guide. And so you download this guide, and it was where you ask your family the traditions that they care about the most, and then you only honor those traditions. So she was talking about the holidays, and as household managers, as moms, like, we're the ones where the holidays come from. We kind of decide in our schedule when we're going to put all the decorations up, what activities are going to happen, and then when the fun is over. So she was saying, go through and ask your family what are the most important things. Like, what's the most important at Thanksgiving dinner? What's the most important thing at Christmas? And I was shocked to find out what my kids' answers were. So I'm going to share them just because I thought it was so interesting. So I always play the Christmas story. I always play a Christmas story all day long during Christmas. Come to find out, one of my sons said that's what makes Christmas for him. It's not the eggnog. It's not the dinner that we have. They both do love, we go to hibachi the day of Christmas. They both said that that is like one of the main highlights. But you guys, it's not the nutcrackers that I put out that I've collected over the years. It's not when we deck the tree with all of their ornaments that they've made over the years. It's not any of this nostalgic stuff that is really so important to me. So I will continue to do it to honor myself, but it's not important to my family. So you may be, killing yourself over this massive Thanksgiving dinner. Come to find out, all they really care about is turkey and some mashed potatoes. So that was a really great eye-opening guide. So think about those things when you're thinking about what you can create. You really need to be thinking about what are the pain points of your audience, your ideal customer, and how can you help them out. And then the last thing that is a great idea is maybe just like a quiz. It gives a quick, instant, personalized insight. They take this little quiz and it says, okay, based on this, I know there's one that I can think of, Clutterbug. It's this organization lady. And you go through and you take this little quiz. And at the end, she tells you what kind of organizer you are. And I'm the kind of person that I can get a gift card for Christmas or my birthday or whatever. And I know all year long that I have that gift card. You give my husband a gift card and he puts it away somewhere, that man don't have no gift cards. Okay. If it is not out in his vision, he does not know he owns it. And so there's just different personality types, different ways we do things. And I don't know about you, but I love to read like a horoscope, or I love to take those quizzes. I love to learn about me. I love that stupid one on Facebook where it's like, every person has a song, and then you click on it and it's some dumb generated song. And then it says all this stuff about you and you're like, yep, spot on. And then you repost it.
Right? I know. A good quiz, a good free guide with value. I mean, it doesn't have to be, solving the world's problems. Like you said, it's just, what is a pain point? How can you fix it? And it can be something just simple and fun. Like, what is your song for your name's sake or something? It can be totally like that. And what it's doing is providing fun, entertainment, or solving a problem and giving value. And it's connecting them to you so that the next time you put something out, they're going to see that as well. And so it's really starting to build that connection, the web that you talk about, the web connection, right?
Yeah.
You don't
conversation starter.
Yeah. You don't need a 20-page PDF solving all their problems. Okay. Just you need something helpful, skimmable, and tied to what you actually do. Okay.
Absolutely.
Because keep in mind, we have this tiny infinitesimal attention span in our world today. So if it's not something they can pour through.
Infinitesimal?
I did.
This is a word I don't know. Out there in Link Up Lounge, all of our loungers, do you guys know infinitesimal? It's like infant and decibel, which means like really small.
Infinitesimal, right? Infinitesimal.
I know, but I broke it down different. Infant and decibel.
Oh, tesimal. It's infinitesimal.
Infinitesimal.
It means extremely small.
Okay, this is your guys' free lead magnet. We aren't even asking for an email in exchange. You guys are learning a new vocabulary word.
This
which
is one
must
thing
mean
Tiffany
very
loves.
Small.
Yes, you love to do this. Point out weird words that I use.
I love it.
Which is funny to me because I don't think I use weird words, but then Tiffany loves to point them out. So it's awesome. I love it because it makes me feel smart. So I love it because it makes me feel like, oh, I have a word that she doesn't know. I mean, I love it.
So impressed.
So the Oxford Dictionary defines it as extremely small. Just so you know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. I took us somewhere else. You caught me in your web. Not your real estate web, your vocabulary web.
It's supposed to be tied to something you actually do. So I don't teach English.
True.
And I
Okay.
don't write
Fair.
novels. So this
Right.
is
And we
not my
don't do
lead
that
magnet.
on the show either. So, okay.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Tie it to what you actually do and make sure that it's small enough. What I was saying was small enough that you can consume it in a quick amount of time. So I'm going to say, 3 minutes or less. Really, you need to be
I
able to
agree.
kind of skim through it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, these lead magnets should be kind of conversation starters. Like when someone opts in, they're basically raising their hand. It's your chance to welcome them, build trust, and stay top of mind. So when I think about, when I did the little holiday blitz, right, I was thinking like, oh, here come the holidays. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff I have to do. And then this organization lady just pops out this blitz where you can just print off these PDFs and work your way through the holidays before they come. And that was something that went with her business, but it was definitely a pain point for people that are unorganized or just people in general going into the holidays because there's a lot of, it's very multifaceted. And so I think that was an extremely well done lead magnet. So just kind of think about, what do your people need? How can you stay top of mind? And then it's a quick win. And let me tell you what, all I had to do was print out these pages. I just skimmed over them. They were quick to answer, big blanks to put your answer, which I love. I love writing really big. I write in cursive and I love writing in big letters. So when there's a lot of space like that, I get excited.
Well, and the win of it all was you felt like it helped your holidays. It gave you a new experience. And I bet you're like waiting for this year to see what she's going to offer and how it's going to help
Yes.
change your holidays too. And so it really was a great conversation starter, a great way for her to stay top of mind for you, because now you're linking her with your holidays and joy and happiness and organization and all those things. And so that was a great lead magnet for her, because you're all in on that. And that's the power of a lead magnet right there, is to grow the relationship, right? So again, like I said before, you're not just collecting emails and not doing anything with them. It's not about growing your list, all right? It's about growing relationships. And the right lead magnet is going to make that possible, because now Tiffany is tuned into what's the next thing that's going to make her holidays even better,
Well, and it's built my trust. So she also does a back to school one. And so when the back to school one came around, a couple months later, I was like, ooh, well, the other one was so paramount. Let me download this one and see what I can spruce up in my life this time around. It really does build that trust. And I also think when you have a couple of lead magnets, like I was saying with the checklist of 10 things that you'd consider before your podcast, it actually leads to more qualified leads when they reach out to me. So they've already looked at the list. They already know what they want their podcast to be about. And now when they connect with me, this is a person that's already put some thought into that podcast. We're not starting at ground zero, right? And so they've already learned some stuff. Or by the time they come to you, Donna, they already understand the value of having a realtor, or they understand that you really know what you're talking about and you really understand the market because of some emails that they've received from you previously or any lead magnets that you gave them. The trust is there. They're all in now. Hook, line, and sinker. They're one of your ideal customers, ideal clients. So if you have been putting off making a lead magnet because it just feels overwhelming, just start small.
So one lead magnet that I love to use is how to stage your house to sell.
Ooh.
Because like you were saying, when they read your guide, they already come sort of prepared for their podcast in a better way, and it helps your job. It makes it a little bit easier for you. So this one I love because, there's nothing more difficult than telling somebody that they've got to get rid of all their tchotchke crap, right, out of their house and make it like a more neutral experience. But if they've read my lead magnet on how best to stage your home, then it already says it in there, And so I had a client that she had seen a couple of my guides like this. And so when I went, she said, oh, don't worry, before the photographer comes, I'm going to get rid of all of this and I'm going to get rid of all of this. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like I don't have to have that tough conversation, because she already knew based on these other things she had already seen that I'd put out. So you're right in the fact that a good lead magnet can actually make your job easier to work with your clients. So
That's funny. That's making me realize that by the time people come to me after they've gone through the checklist, it says like, figure out what your podcast host is. And this is one thing that people outside of the podcasting space really don't know about. So if you're considering a podcast, you read that and you're like, what's a podcast host? And then you start Googling it. And then there's a whole bunch of different options. And I list a couple of options. So it would give you time to, or gives them time to research some of those things so that maybe they don't feel uneducated, right? Like, so if you showed up and had to have these awkward conversations about getting rid of the tchotchkes, it takes some of that awkward conversation away. And I don't have to be telling these people, oh, there's lots of options. You could look at this one, or this one. They've already done some of that research, so it really does. I mean, I guess I already knew the value of a lead magnet, but this is really even opening my eyes to, avoiding some awkward conversations or them feeling maybe uneducated about something that they feel like they should know. Although if you don't know podcast hosts, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, the glory of this podcast is that my co-host is a podcast producer. Therefore, I don't have to know any of this or make any of those decisions. Okay, it's excellent.
And when I get ready to sell a house, I will just say, hey, Donna, this is the house. Or when I get ready to buy a house, Donna, this is the house. And I too, because I know, like, and trust Donna. So
right. It makes it so much easier.
It makes it so much easier. We are here to encourage you. If you've been putting off making a lead magnet because it feels overwhelming, start small. You already have the value you could share in 1 or 2 pages.
Yes, a checklist, your framework. Look at your FAQs. You've already got the content. Just shape it and share it. Another suggestion that I have, that you're going to hear us say this kind of stuff a lot, but you can just copy and paste your site link into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, I want to come up with 10 lead magnets. Read my about me. Look at my website.
To suggest ChatGPT. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
You guys.
I know. It's funny because, like, seriously, it can make your life so much easier. But in this regard, just connect it to your website, connect it to your product offering, your About Me page, whatever, and say, give me 10 ideas on great free lead magnets to offer or to build your email list. Because you don't need to spend your time being a creative, editor. You can just ask ChatGPT. They're going to give you a ton of ideas. Like I said before, I'm not very creative. So I rely on ChatGPT to give me creative thoughts. So I'll ask ChatGPT about a lot of different things. Give me 10 ideas on this. Give me 10 titles for this. Give me, 10 names for this, and then I'll filter through and that'll create a new thought.
I also spend a lot of time with ChatGPT because I would rather spend my time editing and popping out like amazing episodes for my clients than spending hours upon hours just brain dumping and trying to be creative and trying to come up with all these things when I know that there's such a helpful tool like ChatGPT that can just help me narrow down my thoughts, my ideas, give me a concept, and on my merry way back to taking care of my clients.
Right. Because as we've said in previous episodes, that when you're an entrepreneur, you're wearing so many hats, so many. And some of you love being an accountant, and some of you love being a creative director, and some of you love being a CEO, and others just want to do the podcasting or the editing, or for me, the selling of the houses. So, don't try and do everything yourself. Use the tools that are available. It's 2025. Let's take advantage.
Everybody's using ChatGPT. Don't feel no shade. No shade about using ChatGPT. Well, loungers, it is time to flip the switch to networking mode on. This week, take a look at one recent conversation. Maybe it was a DM, a conversation you had over coffee, or even a client question, and ask, what's one thing from that moment that I could turn into a simple, valuable, free resource? And then ask yourself, would my ideal client actually exchange their email for this? Make sure it directly ties into your business and gives you enough value to make them want to keep the connection going. Networking mode on.
All right, networking mode is officially on. If you're loving these tips and conversations, tag us on social when you're putting networking mode on into action. We would love to celebrate your wins. You can find us at the Link Up Lounge on Instagram, and we are also on LinkedIn. You can find those connection points in the show notes. You've been hanging out in the Link Up Lounge, your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Now it's your turn. Go make a powerful link today.
Networking mode on.